What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew, and it's Nuff of the Week time today. And in this video, we're going to look at an act that really drives me wild in this game of modern AFL football, where we've got to protect the head. There's certain parts of the body that are really deservedly protected because of the long-term ramifications that we are seeing grip players around the competition, or former players from all walks of this AFL competition. The concussion concern is very, very real, and we need to protect players at all costs. So when we tighten the rules and we try more than ever to stamp out dangerous acts in this game while still trying to maintain the physicality of AFL football, it really undermines it and honestly takes the piss a little bit when you've got players who flaunt that rule and take advantage of it and milk and stage for dodgy free kicks. And so this week, it is Sydney's Cory Warner, brother of Chad, who is going to be the recipient of the Nuff of the Week nomination this week. And I've had some not so serious videos lately, but this is one for me personally I'm a little bit more passionate about, a little bit feistier about, because I don't want to see the physicality in our game lost, but I do respect the need to protect the head, to protect the players, to protect them from themselves, all of those kinds of things. The speed of the game is so much greater than it's ever been. The amount of force that's going into every bump and tackle is greater than it's ever been because of the techniques involved, because of the medical teams and the physios and all that, like what everyone is doing. It's so much these days, and so the risk is so much greater. And so when we get acts like the one that Cory Warner displays, and we'll go through it in a moment, when there's acts like that out in the field, it drives me mad. So we're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk about what he's done and show the clip and talk about it in a bit of detail shortly. But first, let's take a word from our sponsor.
The Hoops Crew Media Network is proudly sponsored by Cyril Cook Florist. Visit them at shop 1211 Leather Street in Breakwater. Phone them on 035 222 2244 or visit their website at www.cyrilcookflorist.com.au and use the offer code GOCATS in the voucher field at checkout to get 20% off your next online purchase.
Thank you, Cyril Cook Florist, as always, for your ongoing support of the Hoops Crew and all we get up to. Now, enough rambling. Let's get into the clip itself and talk about it in a bit more detail. This comes from the AFL website, so let's get into it. Thank you, of course, Fox Footy, for the coverage. Let's take a look at what exactly Cory Warner has done here. It was in the game against Gold Coast where Sydney, we're going pretty well for a while there and ultimately got blown away. I think essentially it was like a 70-odd point turnaround from where they got to at one stage. But this is quite early on in the piece. This helped set up the momentum of the game, which maybe in terms of just the footballing element, aggravates me even more.
Is Grundy inside the forward 50? Is there a marker down there? Collins puts his fist through it. Oh, error handball picked up by Heaney.
All for a moment.
Trying to make up for the error, lays the smother. Grundy works his way through. Oh, big hit. And fold over is Cory Warner. He's going to get the free
Now,
kick.
it seems kind of subtle, right?
Was it on the second one? Was it against Matty Real? Because it looked like the first one was just
The
a
pump.
solid hip and shoulder.
Legit. Kicks the goal.
Okay, good advice.
Gives it to him a little bit.
Goal kicking icon in Alistair Lynch, and that is a perfect finish. Straight through. And the Bloods are setting a brisk.
And we're going to
early
see
pace.
exactly what happened.
And a lot of the work is coming from Heaney.
So there's that little bit of forearm. If I can try and scrub through this just right. Bump. Nothing to the head. You can see it's kind of shoulder to chest. And then here, as he's falling, incidental, obviously nothing can really help per se. He falls against Matty Rao's hand, probably a little bit of potentially a little bit of his knee as well. But then all of a sudden, punches up. Now, I'm not saying that didn't hurt. And there's probably a little bit of fault here in the umpire, trying to adjudicate an illegal act versus incidental contact. But he milked it. And that drives me mad in a game where we've got genuine head-high bumps. We've got high tackles. We've got tunneling going on. We've seen more tunneling pop up this year than we've had in a little while. There's been some of these kind of acts that have really, really bothered me in the game. And then we get something like this, where he crumples up and grabs his head, and all of a sudden, and let's play this again. Free kick, boom, bounces up. Nothing to see here.
Unfortunately for the Gold Coast Suns, they're having a bit of a chuck.
Worst. Absolutely the worst. And it's, again, the reason why I'm so angry about stuff like this is because players are doing all they can in this modern game, for the most part, the majority are, to do all they can to avoid the head-high bump, to avoid contact with the head in any way, shape, or form. Not just out of fear of getting penalized, but also because they don't want, like, a lot of the players in this competition are friends, or they're at least acquaintances with each other. There's a mutual respect there, and everyone knows that no one is there trying to hurt their mates or hurt one another out of the boundaries of the game. And this was an act within the game, within normal confines, and clearly no intention whatsoever. But boom, we're grabbing the head, we're bouncing up and shaking off like nothing ever happened. It's just not okay. This is not a long Nuff of the week this week, but it's a message that I want to send to Cory Warner and any other player out there who thinks that flopping around like this, and especially when it comes to head-high contact, milking it like that is okay. It's just not. And people are onto you. At least I am. But people are onto you. And it's never going to be considered okay. It's never going to be acceptable. And I don't consider booing and those sorts of things okay. It's all a bit childish. But I hope that you cop a whack from the coach, from teammates, from opposition, that they give it to you a little bit next time, because you're playing a pathetic game. Win the ball on your own merit. You don't need to crumple up and wince and whinge and sook and then suddenly when you get the free kick that you want, bounce up and like it's fine and kick a goal. It's smug, it's arrogant, it's not the way you should succeed in this game, let alone all of the other concussion conversation as well. That's where I'm going to wrap things up for this week's Nuff of the Week. Like I said, not a super long one, really honing in on one topic, but there's a larger conversation to be had about the head-high contact and, of course, players who maybe extract a bit more from head-high contact that comes their way than perhaps they should. There's also several other potential nominees for Nuff of the Week. I probably could have named 15 from the Geelong Football Club, who, being a Geelong channel, of course, who could have and maybe should have been nominated for their lackluster performance on the weekend. But this is the thing that drove me a little bit madder than most, simply because of the larger implications for it. Thank you for indulging me in this video, and thank you for checking it out. If you enjoyed this, if you enjoy any of the other things we do here at the Hoops Crew, please consider subscribing, like this video, share it with your friends, engage in more good, honest conversation about AFL football and, of course, the Geelong Football Club. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/thehoopscrew. Check it out. 7 days of free trial access. If you like what you get from it, and that's early access content, there's extended content, and early access, extended, and exclusives. Check out all of it there. If you like it, it only costs $5 or $6 per month to get that content continually delivered to your email inbox. Consider checking it out. You'll find me at Paul James Games on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. The Hoops Crew at the Hoops Crew. And until next time, remain Geelong strong. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you later.